Today we continue Ariyavasa Sutta. First we have to recite Ariyavasa Sutta Pali. Can you follow me? Tasayime Bhagave Ariyavasa Yeriyam Avasensuam Avasandivam Avasaisandivam Katame Dasam Ida Bhagave Bhikkhu Pinjinga Vipinodi Chalinga Samanagada Ekareko Chadura Basino Nona Vijega Sijo Samawaya Satisano Anawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singaro Sui Moda Jada Sui Moda Binyo. We recite together. Tasayime Bhagave Ariyavasa Yeriyam Avasensuam Avasandivam Avasaisandivam Kadame Dasa Ida Bhagave Bhikkhu Pinjinga Vipina Hodi Chalinga Samanagada Ekareko Chadura Basino Panona Vijega Sija Samawaya Satisano Nawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singhara Sui Moda Jada Sui Moda Binya. Masisero aphorism, can you follow me? To abandon the 5 factors, to be fulfilled with the 6 factors, and 1 protection, to depend on the false supports, and to dispel personal truths, to be free from searching, to have pure thoughts, to calm the in and out breath, to have a well-liberated mind, a well-liberated wisdom. The fully enlightened Buddha expounded the 10 features of Ariyavasa. So there are 10 features in Ariyavasa Sutta. We have to depend on the 4 supports. To depend on the 4 supports. 4 supports are to use one things, to endure another things, to avoid another things, and to dispel one things. After depending on 4 supports, Ikareko, to get protection all the times, we need to develop mindfulness. When you develop mindfulness by observing every phenomena manifested at the 6 senses, what you encounter. The first thing you would encounter is Nivarana, 5 hindrances. In the beginning of the practice, meditators have not yet developed continuous mindfulness and strong concentration. Then you cannot gain control over your mind. So it would wander as freely as always to sense object. It moves. You want to keep your mind at the abdomen. When sitting, you want to keep your mind on the foot when walking, but the mind goes every sense object it loves. Unruly mental state. Such an unruly mental states are of 5 kinds, known as Nivarana. They are so called because they hinder the way to celestial realms. They block the way to heavenly rebirth. And they block the way to the attainment of Nibbana. So in the outline of the sermon, Buddha mentioned these 5 mental hindrances as 5 factors to abandon. Pinjinga vipi no hoti. Having abandoned 5 factors, meditators have abandoned 5 factors, or you are abandoning the 5 factors. And then Buddha described these 5 factors in this way: Katinja bhikkhve bhikkhu, pinjinga vipi no hoti, ida bhikkhve bhikkhu no, kamichando bhi no hoti, vyavado bhi no hoti, tinamidam bhi no hoti, odija gogojam bhi no hoti, vijikaja bhi no hoti. That means, how has a bhikkhu practitioner abandoned 5 factors? Here, a bhikkhu practitioner has abandoned sensual desire, ill will, sloth and double, restlessness and remorse, and skeptical doubt. It is in this way that a bhikkhu practitioner has abandoned 5 factors. So the mental hindrances are negative factor of meditation. Also with regard to the mental hindrances, Nivarana, you will remember in the Satipatthana Sutta, Dhammanupassana, Buddha mentioned. Bhikkhus, herein a bhikkhu practitioner dwells contemplating the Dhamma in the Dhammas, in the 5 hindrances. How shall we understand that a bhikkhu practitioner dwells on the contemplation of the Dhamma in the Dhammas, in the 5 hindrances? Buddha asks. And then what are the 5 hindrances? In Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha continue. Ida bhikkhve bhikkhu santam va icchatam kamichantam Atime ichadang kamechando dipajanati. Asandan ijadan kamechandan natime ijadan kamechando dipajanati. Bhikkhu see in when sense desire is present in him, practitioner knows there is sense desire in me. Or when sense desire is absent in him, he knows there is no sense desire in me. He also knows the reason by which the arising of non-arisen sense desire comes to be. Practitioner also knows the reason why the abandoning of arisen sense desire comes to be. And practitioner knows the reason by which non-arising of the abandoned sense desire in the future comes to be. So with these words, in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Buddha instructs practitioner how to deal with sense desire. Sense desire is the first of the mental hindrances. Sense desire means desire for sensual object, desire, attachment, craving, longing, and lust. It means the desire for visible object, desire for audible object, desire for smells, desire for odors, desire for taste, desire for tangible object, and desire for mental object. Desire for anything is called sense desire. When sense desire is present in practitioner, you know there is sense desire in me. So during meditation, when you have thoughts of desire, thoughts of lust, or thoughts of craving, or thoughts of attachment, then you should be aware of the presence of sense desire in you. You will know that there is sense desire present in you. You must mentally note desire, 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 or attachment, 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 or longing, 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 craving, craving, craving. Santan, present. Present means that something exists because it occurs repeatedly. As you understand, might take one object at one moment. So good thoughts or bad thoughts, wholesome thoughts or unwholesome thoughts cannot coexist. These thoughts are not really present at the moment practitioner comes to know them. When you come to know desire, these thoughts are not really present. Because these thoughts cannot coexist with the knowing of them. But since these thoughts arise in meditators again and again, they are said to be existent. At the moment of observing them, at the moment of observing the mental hindrances, they are already gone. When you practice, as soon as you know, as soon as you capture the desire, it's gone. Maybe they last a fraction of a second. Present means something that has occurred that very moment. You have to recognize what is present, what is existence, or what occurs repeatedly. When a desire is present, you know there is such and such a desire in me. When such desire is absent in meditators, they know there is no such desire in me. Asantam, absent. Here absent means two things. First, absent means not existing because it does not occur or it has been abandoned. Second, absent means it is absent simply because it does not arise. Or it first arises in meditators, they observe it, and then it disappears. When it disappears, it will be absent. Sometimes meditators notice the absence of desire. It just does not arise in them. Sometimes meditators feel desire and they take note of this desire, then it disappears, and they notice the disappearance of desire in them. So whatever is the case, practitioner must be mindful of the absence of sense desire when it is absent. And Buddha continued, Yataja anupanasa kamichandasa upadohodi tinjapa janadi. He also knows the reason by which the arising of non-arisen sense desire comes to be. There are causes of the arising of good thoughts or causes of the arising of bad thoughts. Generally speaking, there are two kinds of what we call reflection. We call them attitude or viewing, manasikara. They are unwise reflection, ayoniso manasikara, and wise reflection, yoniso manasikara. Unwise reflection lead to akusala thoughts, unwholesome thoughts, a wise reflection, yonisamanasikara, lead to kusala thoughts or wholesome thoughts. Unwise reflection means inexpedient reflection. Reflection on the wrong track, so we call them wrong reflection. They are the kinds of reflection that takes the impermanent to be permanent. Reflect that the unsatisfactory to be satisfactory. Reflect that the soulless to have a soul and the ugly to be beautiful. So when you take Namarupa to be permanent, when you take Namarupa to be satisfactory, substantial, beautiful, something to be attached to, then you have this kinds of unwise reflection. These reflections are unwise because they cause unwholesome thoughts to arise. So unwise reflection are the general cause for the arising of unwholesome thoughts. Reflection of the opposite kinds are wise reflection, yoniso manasikara. They are expedient reflection. They are beneficial, advantageous reflection, reflection that are on the right track. These are the kinds of reflection that takes the impermanent to be impermanent. The unsatisfactory to be unsatisfactory, soullessness to be without soul, the ugly not to be beautiful, and the undesirable to be undesirable. There is a correct way of viewing things, and Buddha said that everything is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and insubstantial. All Namarupa phenomena are anicca, dukkha, and anatta. You remember every day, you recite every day, Kaya Kaya Nupasi Viharati Attapi Sambhajano Satima. You are contemplating the body in the body. With yonisamanasikara, with wise reflection, you contemplate the body in the body, which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and non-self, and ugly. And then you observe very closely, and you confirm that this kaya is anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. This body is impermanent, rising, falling, always changing, always disappearing. And other rupa very clear, they disappear very fast. Because of the continuous despairing, they are unsatisfactory and uncontrollable. With your ardent effort, and you comprehend clearly, and then you can remove sensual desire, and you can remove abhijja and domanassa, desire and discontent in this kaya, in this body. So you recite every day. Again, you can follow me. Practitioner contemplate body in the body, which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, non-self and ugly. So you observe, you contemplate the body in the body. The body is impermanent, unsatisfactory, non-self and ugly. And you correctly observe whenever you observe the body, you see these kinds of true nature, and it is with the wise reflection you observe. When you see this namarupa in this way, you are said to have this kinds of wise reflection, that is a right and correct reflection, or that is a right view of kaya, right view of namarupa. Your meditation is correct. A sense desire arises in you. Why? Because you have unwise reflection. They are objects that are conditioned for sensuality, conditioned for sense desire to arise. You see namarupa that you consider to be beautiful. You see things that you think are desirable, and then you develop a kind of attachment to all these things, all these namarupa, and experience a sort of craving. This craving or attachment arises because you have wrong attitude, ayoniso manasikara. You reflect incorrectly on these namarupa, so when sense desire arises in meditators, they may notice that this desire arises in them because they are reflecting unwisely. They have viewed the namarupa of sensual desire in the wrong way, in a way that made them think they are lasting, they are satisfying, they are substantial, and they are beautiful. They have viewed this namarupa of sensual desire in the wrong way. In meditation, you can notice this and become aware of it. Because I have unwise reflection, this sensual desire arises in me. Yataja upanasa kamichandasa bahanahodi tinja bhajanati, Buddha said. That means he also knows the reason why the abandoning of the arisen sense desire comes to be. The abandoning of sense desire can be achieved in two ways. That is, by observing it and by cultivating wise reflection on the object as having the nature of foulness. Meditators may attain jhana, contemplating on the concept of foulness, asubha. So the Buddha said, this body is not desirable, this body is not beautiful, and this body is not auspicious. Wise reflection on this object can cause the abandonment of sense desire. Or when practitioners have reached jhana, depending on the concept of foulness or taking the concept of foulness as the meditation, object of meditation, practitioner may be able to get rid of sense desire. In Vipassana meditation, just by being mindful, this sense desire is removed, this sense desire can be abandoned. So you practice samatha and vipassana, samatha meditation, you practice until you gain jhana, and then vipassana, direct observation. So when you are aware of its absence, you know the cause of the disappearance of this sense desire. Because I have this wise reflection, the correct attitude or the correct view towards this object, the sense desire will disappear. And then meditators notice the cause of disappearance of sense desire. Then they also know why the abandoned sense desire won't arise again in the future. That means when you become arahants, the sense desire once abandoned will never return to you. So practitioners know the reason by which non-arising of the abandoned sense desire comes to be. Practitioners know that by attainment of mega, by attainment of path consciousness, by reason of Ariya Mega, path consciousness, the sense desire, kamicchanda, kamaraga that has been abandoned will never return. By attaining path consciousness, sense desire is completely eradicated. This happens when practitioner attain arahanthood. It pertains to the attainment state, the attainment of path consciousness, the attainment of arahanthood. So when practitioner have sense desire, they have come to know why sense desire arises. And they know why sense desire disappear, and they know why sense desire is abandoned momentarily or temporarily. So what can you do when sense desire arises? You make this sense desire the object of your meditation. You dwell on it, you contemplate on it, and you take note of this desire. Just by being noted, the desire will disappear. The commentators pointed out 6 things a practitioner can do to abandon such desire. They can be done when the practitioner are out of vipassana meditation. First, practitioner can take up meditation on the foulness of the body. You look at a corpse, or you dwell on the 32 parts of the body. Practitioner can learn and this kinds of meditation on the foulness of the body. And then your practice will help you to abandon sense desire. So contemplation of the body deal with the reflection on the repulsiveness of the body. So according to the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, there are 32 body parts. Yogis are instructed to contemplate on the repulsiveness of these 32 parts. So in this sutta, Buddha said, Ati imasmengaye kesa loma nakadanta tajo masanaru ati meja vega, etc. That means bhikkhus. A bhikkhu practitioner reflect on this body upward from the sole of his feet, downward from the tips of his hair, enclosed by the skin and full of diverse impurities. In this way, in this body, there are head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, bones, marrows, kidneys, heart, liver, intestines, spleen, lungs, bowels, stomachs, undigested food, feces, brain, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, limbs, saliva, nasal mucus, oil of the joints, and urine. 32. So meditators survey their own body, look at it mentally, and see the 32 parts of the body and contemplate, repositive with respect to these parts. For many people, this meditation on the repulsiveness of the body is difficult to understand and to accept. This difficulty should be a reminder to look at this kinds of meditation with an open mind. With an open mind, a firm dedication to freedom from suffering, yogis may come to understand why this meditation was praised by the Buddha. And Buddha said, Bhikkhus, when one thing is developed, repeatedly practiced, it leads to a supreme sense of urgency, to supreme benefits, to supreme success of bondage. When one thing is developed, repeatedly practiced, it leads to supreme mindfulness and full awareness. It leads to acquisition of knowledge and vision. It leads to a happy life here and now. It leads to realizations of the fruits of clear vision and deliverance. What are that one things? It is mindfulness occupied with the body. And again, Buddha said, Bhikkhus, meditators experience deathless who cultivates mindfulness occupied with the body. They do not experience the deathless who do not cultivate mindfulness occupied with the body. However, it does not mean that only this type of body contemplation, this type of meditation will lead to the realization of truth. This meditation is one of the many types of meditation that lead to realization. So one meditation on foulness is called Attica, skeletal meditation. Some people take a skeleton or bones as object of meditation. When meditators have practiced this kinds of meditation for a long time, they will see only the bones. Although somebody may be stay alive, meditators will see only his or her skeleton. There is a story of a bhikkhu who was called Elder Mahadesa. One day when Elder Mahadesa was on his way to the village to make his arms round, he met a woman. That woman had quarreled with her husband and was returning to her parents' house. When the woman saw the bhikkhu Mahadesa, she laughed. The bhikkhu saw only the teeth of this woman. If he see as a woman, there may arise sensual desire. But when he saw the teeth of the woman and perceived only a skeleton, because he had been practicing this skeletal meditation for long, he achieved the perception of repulsiveness of the body, and he saw only a skeleton. Then he attained jhana. Based on this jhana, he practiced immediately vipassana meditation, and then he became an arahant. At that time, the husband, following this woman, met that bhikkhu, Mahadesa, and asked him, "Did you see a woman on the road?" And Mahadesa replied, "I did not see a man or a woman going down this road. What I saw was a skeleton going down this road," he replied. So this is the result of practicing the meditation on the foulness or repulsiveness of the body using the symmetry meditation, Asubha. If he see as a woman, if he see the teeth of the woman and there may arise sensual desire, but now he practiced this Kalita meditation and he attained jhana, and based on the jhanas, he practiced immediately vipassana meditation and became enlightenment. So that is the first things meditation can take up, meditation on the foulness of the body. Looking at the corpse, it is difficult, but you can dwell on the 32 parts of the body. You can remove your sensual desire. And the second way is the practice of meditation on foulness so that you can reach the jhana stage. When you reach the jhana stage, you will be able to abandon sensual desire. So 32 parts of the body, that is samatha meditation. By practicing samatha meditation, you can overcome sensual desire. And the third way is controlling the faculty of the senses. That means you control your senses, you control your eyes, you control your ears, you control your nose, you control your tongue, you control your body, so that no unwholesome thoughts can arise in you through one of the 6 sendos. Yogis are well practiced. In this way, you already control the faculty of your senses. Eye control, ear control, nose control, tongue control, etc. Everything you control the faculties of the senses, you can overcome, you can remove sensual desire. So coming to the intensive retreat is very fortunate. It is a very favorable condition to take note of, to have a chance to control the faculties and to remove that sensual desire. And the fourth way is practicing moderation with respect to food. Eating moderately will help to abandon sense desire. When we eat too much, we will have more sense desire. We will also have more desire for food. So, monks are advised not to eat all the food in front of them when they are eating, because donuts offer a lot, and they should leave 4 or 5 lumps uneaten. In Asia, bhikkhus eat with their hands, and 1 handful is called a lump. When bhikkhus come close to finishing the food in front of them, they should not eat everything and should leave 4 or 5 lumps uneaten. That means before taking food, they must consider to be moderate with respect to food. They drink water instead. That means when eating, bhikkhus should not fill their stomach to the rim. They leave room for water. This is enough for the comfort of bhikkhus who have set their mind towards reaching Nibbana. It is enough for the comfort of anybody whose mind is set towards reaching the state of Nibbana. This piece of advice tells us how to eat comfortably. Moderation in food means just eating and avoiding filling our stomach to the rim. So during the retreat, we practice to be moderate in eating. The fifth way is having a good friends, Kalyanamita, a friend firmly on the path, or as you say in the West, spiritual friends. To have a good friend is very essential. When you have a good friends, you can have good advice. They provide good advice to you. You can learn from your good friends and take him or her as an example. So a good friend who has no such desire can help you to abandon such desire. And the sixth way is practicing suitable talk. To abandon such desire, practitioner should talk about the foulness of the body. They should talk about the bad result of attachment and so on. So you already listened, Bhikkhu Desa, he attached to his robe and he was to be reborn as a louse. So attachment is bad. So practitioners should talk about the bad result of attachment longing and lust, and so on. So these 6 things lead to the abandonment of sensual desire, kamicchanda, according to Satipatthana Sutta. So in this Ariyavasa Sutta, Buddha mentioned to abandon the 5 factors, 5 mental hindrances. So can you look at the paper? Abandoning the 5 factors, hindrances, page number 1. Abandoning the 5 factors. Number 1 is sensual desire. Number 2 is anger. Number 3, sloth and trouble. Number 4, restlessness and worry. And number 5, skeptical doubt. So Mahasisara aphorism, can you follow me? Sensual desire is like a debt. Discard it immediately. Sensual desire is like a debt. Discard it immediately. Anger is like a disease. Suppress it and cut it off. Anger is like a disease. Suppress it and cut it off. Sloth and trouble are a prison. Note and know to get rid of them. Sloth and trouble are a prison. Note and know to get rid of them. Restlessness and worry enslave you. Overcome them quickly. Restlessness and worry enslave you. Overcome them quickly. Skeptical doubt is like a crossroad. Remove it when you encounter it. Skeptical doubt is like a crossroad. Remove it when you encounter it. So, pinching away pino, we need to abandon 5 factors. If you already abandon, it's very good. If you are still abandoning, try your best to abandon these 5 factors immediately by noting. So we will continue next day. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the 6 senses, may all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis dwell Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, gracefully. May you all realize the real peace in the very near future.